Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 17th of March 2021. This is the series where we go the Shrine of Secrets in Dead by Daylight. There are 2 killer perks and 2 survivor perks. We go over what they do, how they work, how the perk changes as you tier it up, what characters they come with, and at the end I will give my thoughts on which ones you should buy with iridescent shards. This is mainly for DLC perks, so you don't have to buy the character, you can get some really good without putting real money on. Or if it's like a character who has 2 really bad teachables, but then one of them's really good, and if you know the one really good one comes on the shrine, I'll say buy that one and don't bother with the character, if that makes sense. So works like that. I am a bit of a time schedule today, so like I was last week, so I hopefully won't spend too much time clearing my throat and pausing, so that'd be cool. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it, I think. Let's get started. So first of all, we have Agitation, which is a trapper perk, and I feel like we haven't seen this in a while, but I might be wrong about that. I'm not sure, unless that was maybe one of his other ones, I'm not sure. Anyway, so this is a trapper perk, and basically you get your movement speed increased when you transport bodies by 6%. At tier 2 that's 12%, and tier 3 that is 18%. So that's pretty fast. That is pretty freaking fast. And also while transporting a body, your tier radius is increased by 12 meters. So yeah, 18% movement speed increase is crazy. That is mental, to be honest, because carrying bodies is not really like an important aspect of the game, to be honest. Personally, I don't really like using perks like that, which affect things like that. But this one is often paired with, you know, builds like Iron Grasp, Mad Grit, you know, for like the basement builds and everything, and it's good in that sense. In that sense alone, it's really good. But I think even use this perk by itself is really effective, because I know there's a debate about if you should use this perk or Iron Grasp. Iron Grasp is not a teachable. You can just have that with everyone. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Or you can use Iron Grasp, which isn't a teachable. And personally, I do prefer Agitation. It's not a perk I use a whole lot, to be honest. Sometimes if I'm doing builds, or sometimes I will just throw it on by itself with other things, you know, just for the feeling, I guess. But this, I would say this is better than Iron Grasp, because this just makes you move faster. And it just makes it a lot easier. It makes you able to get to the hooks further away, if they're saboing or if they're body blocking, which is also another thing. Body blocking, again, increased movement speeds, basically isn't really a problem. But yeah, again, I haven't used this a whole lot, but I would say it's kind of underrated actually, because again, 18% movement speed, that's really fast. And you know, some people try and get cocky and everything and try and take hits and everything, but again, if you've maybe combine with save the best for last as well, because if you didn't know, save the best for last tokens also count for weapon recovery while taking hits. Well, not when taking hits, but like, you know, when you hit someone when you're carrying someone and he does that. It's not really an animation, but like, yeah, when you just hit them, it also affects that. So if you have 8 stacks of save the best for last, you can use it with this to basically, once again, just make it a breeze to get to that. So you don't even need things like Mad Grit or anything. Again, you can completely use this perk by itself. You can also combo it with Iron Grasp. However, I would say I do prefer this over Iron Grasp. Even though Iron Grasp is good for like not getting stumbled around, you know. Sorry. Not getting stumbled around and like, you know, thrown into the walls when you're walking. So you can combo with that just to get rid of that effect as well. But yeah, I don't know. I like Agitation. I don't use it a whole lot, to be honest. Again, it's not really situational, but like, you know, the feeling's nice. But yeah, I would say it's pretty decent, to be honest. Next up we have Inner Strength. This is a Nancy perk, and this is one of my favourite perks in the entire game, and this is one of my most used perks in the entire game. This perk is absolutely incredible. So, each time you complete a totem cleanse action, which either means a duel or a hex, it doesn't matter, Inner Strength activates. If you are already affected by the broken status effect, Inner Strength does not activate. While Inner Strength is active, hiding inside a locker for 10 seconds while injured automatically heals you from injured to healthy. So basically you cleanse a totem, and then it becomes activated, and then the next time you're injured, you can just hide in a locker, and then after 10 seconds, which at tier 2 is 9 seconds, and tier 3 is 8 seconds, it will automatically heal you. It will literally just heal you in the locker. Inner strength becomes deactivated as soon as it is successfully triggered. And also, it doesn't mention this here, but obviously you can't stack this perk. So you can't cleanse like 3 totems in a row and then like, you know, use it 3 times one after the other like that. It has to be one at a time. So keep that in mind. The perk doesn't actually say that here, but yeah. This is absolutely incredible. This is so good, and I know I'll give my thoughts on the end, but like, yeah, this one is just incredible. For number 1, it gives a reason to do totems, other than finding hexes, or just being scared of nowhere, or just getting easy points. This actually contributes, because it actually helps you. And again, just being able to get a really quick heal like this at any time is really effective. You know, lockers are everywhere. You don't even need quick and quiet. I don't even use this perk of quick and quiet, but I imagine that would be crazy as well. Like healing mid-chase, which honestly happens to me all the time. But yeah, this perk is absolutely incredible. I don't really know what else to say. There's not anything you can really combo it with, like I said, maybe other than quick and quiet. I've seen someone also use this with head on before, which I guess you could do. But I feel like, yeah, maybe a bit risky, because obviously if you get healed, and then they do pull you out the locker, then basically you just wasted your heal, because now you're downed, you know. But yeah, again, like I said, you can't use this when you're broken, but this will completely neglect things like Mangled, you know, Sloppy Butcher, the add-ons killers have, you know, makes it take longer to heal. It doesn't affect that at all, so, Phantophobia and things like that, and anything that affects healing, Choleraphobia, it will literally just do it in 8 seconds, and then you're done. Full health, you can just come back out. So, incredible. Amazing. Next up we have Iron Will, which is a Jake perk, and this one, I don't know if we had this kind of recently, I'm not too sure, but this is a Jake perk, and this is one of the strongest survivor perks in the game. This basically has, so your grunts of pain when you're injured are reduced by 50%, at tier 2 that's 75%, and tier 3 that's 100%. This one of those perks you basically have to use at tier 3, because even at 75% it is quieter, but you can still hear it, and obviously killers who are really good and know what they're doing will be able to still listen out for you. Even, I was going to say even 100%, because I know breathing in lockers, because I know actually Strider, which is actually, interestingly, is also on the Shrine. Strider does counter this perk, because Strider affects breathing, not grunts of pain. And a lot of people don't know that, but I'll get into that when I tackle Strider. But basically, yeah, grunts of pain get completely silenced, and this is really good against, especially, you've probably seen this against Spirit mainly, because Spirit relies solely on sound, not solely on sound, but like primarily on sound. And if she can't hear someone grunting in pain during a chase, then she's not going to find them, you know. So that's really good. But even against killers, I use this perk a lot, because also this helps in chases. If you're able to break line of sight for a minute and you hide behind a tree or something, if they don't find you, then obviously, you know, they can't hear you. So then I've had a lot of times where, you know, the chase just ends because I drop a pallet, and then I lose line of sight, and as he's kicking the pallet, I go hide behind like a tree or a building or something, and yeah, and then he has absolutely no idea where I am, and then he just leaves. So this perk is incredibly strong. Also, I would recommend this perk on survivors who are really loud. I use this on Yui, use this on Zarina, David, Jeff, survivors who, Feng as well, because Feng actually has really loud grunts of pain. Again, you can use this on anyone and it's great, but I would say this especially benefits on those kind of survivors who are really loud and it's like, Jesus Christ, shut up. But yeah, the effect was really nice. As long as you use this at tier 3, and as long as the killer doesn't have Strider, you'll be golden. This perk's great. And finally we have Strider, which is a nurse perk. I was about to say a spirit perk. No, it's not. It's a nurse perk. So this one has it. So this also I know for a fact was on kind of recently. So that's a little annoying, but whatever. Breathing of survivors in pain is 25% louder, and regular breathing is 0% louder. So at tier 2, this works weirdly. So tier 2, the 25% goes up to 50%, and the 0% stays at 0%. And then at tier 3, the 50% stays at 50%, and the 0% goes up to 25%. That's really confusing. I'll try and like write it down in the pinned comment, because yeah, the stats on this are really weird, and it always took me ages to memorize it, because it's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, so basically it will go 25, 50, 50, and then 0, 0, 25. So basically by the end of it, breathing of survivors in pain will be 50% louder, and regular breathing will be 25% louder, basically. That's basically it. Again, tier 3 is best for this because you'll get the maximum effects. Again, even like I said, the statistics are worded really weirdly, and it's like trying to read this out to someone without them having a stroke is like impossible. But this perk is really good on, well, again, I would say this is really good on Spirit because, again, she primarily uses sound for tracking. However, I have also been using this on other killers recently, and to be honest, it's not that bad. If you've got headphones and like really good headphones, and you're like, I can't really think of a killer to use for example, because I guess every killer can benefit. But yeah, honestly, I think this isn't not. I think this is maybe underrated as well, to be honest. Like Agitation, because like I said, also this counts as Iron Will. A lot of people don't know that this counts as Iron Will, basically entirely because Iron Will has, so it reduces like grunts of pain, but this doesn't affect grunts of pain. This affects breathing of survivors in pain. So even if they're in a locker, or they are just hiding behind a tree, something like I said earlier, you can still hear them, because even though you can't hear their grunts of pain, they're like, you'll still hear their breathing around corners and stuff. And again, I've had this so many times where, well, it's not so many times, but like, I've had it so it's like, oh yeah, I'm hidden now, and then like, you know, I just see them coming in, and it's like, how did you find me? And at the end I see they have Strider, and it's like, okay, great. So yeah, I think on Nurse herself, it's not bad. I would say again, mainly Spirit benefits from this, but you can use this on certain killers if you want to maybe just try it out for a bit. I think this is underrated. Again, it doesn't work for everyone, but yeah, especially killers, I mean, oh my god, especially survivors who obviously think they're really good and like trying to stay hidden and everything, with Iron Will or not, you can still hear them, because again, breathing pain. And also again, in lockers, it's really useful for people hiding in, oh god, sorry, really useful for people hiding in lockers, man. I've had it so many times, but it's so clear now, because you can still hear them breathing and in pain when they're in a locker. But with this perk especially, it's like they're basically just stood next to you. Like, it's crazy. You can really hear it, and it's like, yeah, you can bait the head on, or if they haven't got head on, you can just get them out. So again, I think this is really underrated. Not for everyone, but definitely don't sleep on it. Give it a chance, I would say. Now I'm going to go over which ones I think you should buy, and this is pretty difficult because all of these are kind of beneficial in some way. So for Killer, I'm going to say, I don't know, I haven't had a chance to think about this actually. These are actually all pretty good perks. These are all pretty decent perks actually. I would say Agitation over Strider. However, I would not neglecting Strider, I would say definitely get this. But I think you could level Nurse up for this, because Nurse also has Phantophobia and Nurse's Calling, and they're both really great perks as well. So honestly, it's probably just worth leveling up Nurse, or at least just get it to level 30, because that's when you get this perk. Don't sleep on this perk. This perk's actually pretty decent, and it has saved me a lot of chases and a lot of time just trying to find people and just having them be around somewhere. Especially on Spirit, this is really good if you're practicing Spirit or learning Spirit. I use this on Spirit a lot as well. Don't sleep on this perk. This perk's actually really good. But Agitation, I would say, gets a bit more value. You move a lot faster. Also, the terror radius increase, I didn't really mention, but I guess, you know, if you have perks like Choleraphobia and stuff, which again aren't great perks, but still it affects it in that sense. There also is an upcoming perk with the new chapter, which also affects carrying people to hooks, so that's maybe a thing to consider. But again, I think these are both underrated. I think these are both really great perks, to be honest. I can't really think of anything bad to say about them. Agitation has a lot more synergy with, again, Mad Grit, Force Penance, Iron Grasp, things like that. But I would say use this over Iron Grasp. But again, it's a great perk. I love it. I can't really think of anything bad to say about them, to be honest. And then for Survivor, I'm going to recommend both, but I understand that most people, or some people, won't be able to get both. So I would say Inner Strength, because Iron Will comes with Jake. Jake's a free character. This is level 30 for him, I think. So again, you can probably just level him up. Or if you're not interested in that, because also he has Saboteur and Calm Spirit, and they're not particularly amazing perks. So Definitely get if you're interested, but I would prioritize Inner Strength just because this is a DLC one. Nancy also has Fixated and Better Together. Better Together is not very good. Fixated is pretty decent actually. But this is her best perk, and in my opinion, this is probably the best perk from the Stranger Things whole chapter. You know, out of 9 perks, yeah, that's a big thing to say. This is great. This saves you so much time. It saves people coming to heal you. You don't need to self-care. You don't need to waste a med kit. You know, if they've got sloppy butcher or something, you don't need to spend even more time healing. Literally 8 seconds. As long as you cleanse a totem and you find Locker, no matter what effect you have, it literally takes 8 seconds and you just heal instantly, automatically. That's mental. That's absolutely crazy. And that's so easy as well. Because totems are everywhere. Like, I know some get, like, I can have entire matches where I don't find one totem. But like, God, it's so good. It's so good. It's so handy. It's so easy to like trigger, and the effect is really effective. So, yeah, I would say Agitation and Inner Strength are priorities. But again, honestly, I really like all of these perks, and it was a hard choice to make because I don't really think about it. I don't really think about what I would recommend beforehand. I kind of just do it as I'm going through and looking more in detail about them. But yeah. That was a pretty hard one. These are actually really good perks. I'm very impressed with this shrine, actually. So guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed. I am still in my time limit, so don't worry about that. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.